Hey guys, David here from Mindful Kung Fu on behalf of Sudaquan Academy. Thanks for joining us again. We're continuing our conversation on Qi and internal power, and we're going to talk about how Qi flow pertains to a pressurized stance, pushing into the legs and expressing it through the palms. We would call that Fajin, or just release of energy. But don't take my word for it. Let's go take a look. Hey guys, so when it comes to Qi flow in regards to a pressurized stance, it's important to understand where the energy starts. We know that the energy is going to start into the ground and come up through the body. And as the energy comes up from the body, it comes into the lower half, or up through the lower half and into the upper half. And the upper half is being controlled by the lower half. Kind of an interesting relationship these two have. So let's take a look at this. If I come over here, and I get into just a basic back stance or fighting stance, depending on how you see it, depending on what your system talks about, is I'm going to now kind of shift back into the back leg. And you can see as I shift back and the knee bends, there's this spiraling type of feel that's going through that back foot. And this is kind of like a spike going through the ground. Now this is important. It's not a physical, it's a thought, it's a feeling. And in my mind, I have to see myself going through the ground on that side, on that foot, okay? Sitting in, boom, down like that. So there's this connection of power that's moving into the back foot. Now, with that said, the hip is set and it's holding the energy here, almost like holding a slingshot or a bow and arrow, right? So I'm pulling the bow back. Now, here, this energy is still moving through into the front foot. So they are working together, and that's really important to understand. There's a connection, there is a circuit, as you may, right, that kind of flows between the two legs. So this one is pushing. By pushing the ground, the energy is coming up. This one is receiving and not allowing me to go anywhere. So it gives you this, it gives this illusion, right, like Charlie Chaplin or something, right, that I'm stuck to the ground. And that is that idea of pressurized stance. Now there's a circuit moving and flowing. I can let the arms go, let the body go. Of course, there is an alignment, right? The hip is tucked slightly, the shoulders are rounded. We're letting the air out the inside, a little bit of the body for the seat body here, and then also tucking the chin. We can certainly talk about alignment in another video, but these things are happening. So now I'm here, and if I want to release this power, you see, I can release it pretty easily, and it has this incredible power to it because it's coming out of the ground. Whack! In this case, I'm coming out of the ground completely, but in other cases, I can just simply small press. And as I push, turning the waist, whack! I have this incredible push here, or release of energy. The word for that would be Fajin. So if I turn around this side and you look at it from here, I'm in a somewhat similar kind of stance we've seen before, more about a reverse punch, and I have that same idea here. I push, whack, and then wham, the energy releases. Or once again, I push, and now we have full body contact coming from the ground, moving from the waist, coming down the arm, into the hand or into the palm, and release or express through the palm, which is called the dragon body. Whack, just like this. And this releases a lot of power. But it's important to understand that it's not me, it's not coming from my muscle, it's not coming from tension, it's coming from a place of intention and understanding and awareness of how the body works. So when we become more of a conduit versus a container, we become more powerful. As you can see, it's all about a relationship between your intention and your expression of power. Now, let's go put it into our training. All right, guys, this is my buddy Andrew. For those of you who've been watching the other videos, you know he's a regular on the show. All right, so we're going to take a look and demonstrate exactly what we were just talking about. So I'm going to bring him a little closer here because I'm going to do this in a form of a push, because I really don't want to push Andrew into the wall or hurt my good friend. I think he's a great guy. So we're going to come in a little bit closer here, Andrew. There you go. I have my hand here. Now, like we were talking about, I sit down, spiraling that energy here and pressurizing my stance here. And then now I can release the bow, you see, Whew, you okay?
I'm okay, yeah.
And it has this feeling of whack releasing, okay? So look at it again. I sit back. I set my energy. The wrist is open, so the energy is flowing. You feel it right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can still feel it even though I get myself tucked and where I need to be, and then wham, and I release. Yeah, good. One more time. In here, as he pushes me in, I can even still kind of use his energy. One in, yeah. We'll play with that, right?
Yeah.
So from here, you push towards me, one in, yeah, and then it releases. So it has this kind of effect as well. If we come around this side, and we go into the reverse of what we're doing. Now, no, I'm not going to punch him, okay? Like I said, he's a good friend of mine, but I'm going to use the palm, and I'm going to show you through a push. Once again, we're going to push here. So that same idea, I set it back, spiral into the ground, strong stance, and release. Yeah, good. One more time. Everything's good? Everything's still working?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Come through. Once again, press, boom. And there's the move here, yeah. And it's interesting, we can play with this a little bit. I can just be here like this and, you know, right? Yeah. And it just comes out really easy. But I want you to see that it's not because I'm magic or it's not because I'm super strong. Yes, my legs are pretty strong. I've been doing this for quite a while, but that has nothing to do with it. It has to do with expression. So as I express myself through the ground, you see, then I can move him pretty good. One hand, two hands, it works all the same. Now let's take a look at it in terms of one of our techniques. We call this snake. Yeah, really cool technique, and it kind of looks like this. So the technique itself, I go back, wrap back, and then I come back in. Now when I do this, I can shift, once again, this energy is here, so I can shift back into this leg. Very, very strong. So I can come back into this leg. So there is pressure going on in these stances. In this case, he's going to have his hand like this. We're just going to keep the elbow down. We're going to work on a type of push. And then I come back to parry him down. And then I sprout out of the ground. And I strike through here. Yeah, like this. Okay? We'll look at it again. He comes in. I pull down. I can come behind him. We can look. Yeah, there's absolutely takedowns here depending on where I come back, right? So he comes in. I back, I come back in. Yeah, see, I can take him right down. Wham, just like that. You good? Yeah. So one more time, he comes in. I can turn and move this way, and then come back in across here. There's tons and tons of things you can do here. But notice, it's the same concept. Shifting into the leg, strong stability, coming back out. We would call that rebound, right? One in. But it's the hip that's twisting that's causing the screwing down and then wham, releasing it right back out. Yeah. Look, I even got some breath going over here. Huh? Awesome. Thank you, Andrew, very much. I appreciate it. Thanks again, guys, for joining us today on our discussion about Chi and pressurized stance. If you liked today's video, make sure to check out the others. And remember, life is about passion. It's about expression. And as my grandmaster always says, martial arts is not something you do, it's something that you are. Until next time.